Hello guys, welcome back to NoyaGR channel. I hope you guys are doing well. I finally had enough time to play around with Himmelnez over the past few days. I've tested different relics, different equipment, tried him in PvE, PvP, and a few friendly matches. There's still a lot for me to learn, but one thing became very clear after all this testing. I'm actually really glad that I never sold my Nameless equipment. For those of you who've been following this channel for a long time, you'll probably remember that Nameless has always been one of my favorite jobs. Not because it was the strongest, but because I always felt the job had something unique that no other class could really replace. The problem was, the meta simply wasn't ready for him. For almost the last year, Nameless mostly existed as an alternative Uber pick. You could bring him if your team wanted something different from Ais, but very rarely did people consider him as a primary carry or an execution specialist. Most competitive teams preferred safer and more consistent options. So naturally, a lot of players abandoned the job. Many sold their equipment, many switched to Alinea, Oscar, Jorm, Kafra, or whatever happened to be dominating at the time. I decided to keep mine, mostly because I felt that one day the game would eventually move into a meta where execution mechanics became valuable again. And I think that day is finally here. Look at where the game is today. We're entering a season where damage numbers are getting crazier every update. We have Kafra, with overload skill capable of deleting entire groups. Alinea continues to be one of the strongest physical burst jobs. Now Himmelnez arrives with enormous area damage and incredible pressure. On top of that, almost every new premium update gives players another layer of survivability. More shields, more anti-death mechanics, more healing, more damage reduction, more HP. Every update feels like another defensive system gets added into the game. So naturally, if everyone becomes harder to kill normally, then the value of jobs that don't rely on conventional damage starts increasing. And that's exactly where Nameless comes into the picture. His biggest strength has never been raw damage. His biggest strength is Ember. I still think Ember is one of the strongest execution mechanics ROM has ever introduced. Unlike traditional DPS that simply tries to overpower the enemy with higher numbers, Nameless is constantly building toward one specific moment. That moment when Ember reaches its condition. Once it does, it doesn't really matter how many shields you're carrying. It doesn't matter how much anti-death you're relying on. If Nameless reaches that threshold, you're simply gone. That's something very few jobs in Ragnarok Mobile can do consistently. Now let's talk about the new job Frostcore, because I think this update is actually what pushes Nameless back into relevance. When Frostcore was first announced, I wasn't expecting much. I thought it would just be another small stat increase or a minor quality of life improvement. But after looking through the available skills, I realized the developers actually understood what makes Nameless unique. Instead of trying to change his identity, they decided to strengthen what he already does best. Unfortunately, I only managed to unlock one Frostcore so far because, like every new progression system in ROM, it requires a huge amount of resources, BCC, and time. I chose as the one that adds true damage based on the enemy's maximum HP whenever Nameless performs a normal attack. At level 1, it only deals 0.1% max HP true damage. But once you look at the 5-star version, it becomes 1% max HP true damage on every auto attack. That starts becoming very significant over the course of a fight. More importantly, because it's true damage, it isn't affected by many of the defensive layers players rely on today. Other two Frostcore upgrades are increases the damage of Nameless Mirage, which should improve his assassination potential even further. The other reduces the cooldown of one of his slash skills, allowing for smoother skill rotations. Also, countering Nameless isn't nearly as simple as many people think. Without True Sight Relic or an Insight Weapon card, dealing with a good Nameless player becomes very difficult. Even when those counters are available, an experienced player can create tremendous pressure simply because of how mobile the job is. The better the pilot, the scarier Nameless becomes. Looking ahead to this Magic Prison season, what I do believe is that he'll become one of the strongest counter picks in the current meta. As more players switch to Himmelnez, Kafra, and Oscar, teams will naturally start looking for ways to remove those high-value targets as quickly as possible. That's where Nameless fits perfectly. Instead of competing with their raw damage, he attacks the problem differently. He looks for the execution, waits for the opportunity, then eliminates the target before those powerful defensive mechanics can save them. I think that's going to become incredibly valuable over the next few weeks as more people finish building Himmelnez. That's actually one of the reasons I'm making this video today. I have a feeling that once the Magic Prison season starts, we're going to see Himmelnez everywhere. If that's the direction the meta is heading, then hopefully this discussion gives you another option to think about when planning your own team composition. For me personally, I'm just happy that my investment into Nameless wasn't wasted. I'll continue testing over the coming days. I'll share another update with all of you. Until then, thank you guys for always supporting the channel. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.